Hey, it's Lee again. How's it going? I wanted to continue a short piece of mind and a piece of speech given towards Indigo children. Now that's just a title that was given by one school of thought by one or two people, but what Indigo children are old souls that have experienced a lot, whether on this planet or somewhere else. Many planets exist. We're not just bound to one. We can reincarnate on different ones and thus become more and more aware and worthy of the bigger and better life existences on different planes of existence itself. So, what is unique about the Indigo children, there are a lot of old souls coming back to this very planet right now. Just to speak of this humble Earth, since technically we're here right now. You and I, who are, watching YouTube and living in whatever country. So, basically, there are a huge amount of souls that have experienced so much and are continuing the consciousness, continuing to change and alter the beautiful paradigm in which we are in which we have. This Earth has been started a long time ago, for thousands of years. And the souls that came into the bodies, first after animal and plant life training, which is true, it sounds bizarre, but I know it might sound strange to some people. But when you get more initiated into the secrets and the mysteries, that's one other thing you get to realize is true. So, after accomplishing that, then to come into your human body existence, your humanoid existence, your vehicle which has the ability to become aware, to expand in a very, very great way. Now, if it is said by certain schools of science, for example, that you only use a small portion of your brain, well, whatever little gadgets we have to detect certain brainwave patterns, etc., that try and attempt to monitor these things, well, I would say we use a little more of our brain than that. But the point of them proving that it's, not being able to fully be seen how much is because we're still in the growth process. Now, this Earth has seen a lot of interesting history, as you can very much agree yourself, from then until now. You and I have lived the history. Especially the history we're attracted to, the countries and the events and the times and the places that really call to us. It's very much the case that you and I lived it. We have a fondness, for example, for medieval Europe or ancient China or wherever, because there's a calling, there's a memory. As soon as we stop associating ourselves with body and ego mind control, what we put on ourselves and what we allow others to put on us, then we start to understand the journey of the soul, its nature, its own development as the real self, very separate and very much the same in a way as your body, because it has its own body forms, but it is greater than and is the higher self, the true you and the true me. So, as for Indigo children, to give it that title, these are souls that have experienced a lot and are coming back now with all the things that have been accomplished, with the internet, with this YouTube, with all the technologies and sciences and fields of thought and consciousness and spirituality. They're coming into this basket, this melting pot, and they are ready for it. They are very smart because they are meant to be. They have gone through training and they are meant to be. You see, each time you die and are reborn and you receive the tabula rasa, your contract that you made before you were born says, okay, you're being born in this time, and you're going to continue with that, and here are the things that are going to be available. And here are your parents, and here's your life. You accept it? Good. You go and enjoy. And so, what is a unique position, and it's not just Indigo children, there have been Indigo, to use that word, adults, all throughout history. Many of us are Indigo adults right now as we speak and as we breathe and go about our day. And this is why I want to stress the very, very, very sheer importance of being able to nurture your children and put them in the right way. There is a big shift towards a new global consciousness, which is in turn going to lead us to a galactic and cosmic consciousness, which is going to be us evolving into being worthy of being able to traverse all space and time. You know, we are here in the mortal existence because we are children in a school that are learning, but this is a temporary state. Our training here is to globally accept each other, and then once this becomes the case, that's why God made many different colors, many languages and such, even on this planet. So after we get past those you know, those little varieties, those spices of life, and accept them and say it's great, and it is, then when we go out into the great beyond, we can really start to, you might see an alien that looks, maybe its skin is blue, maybe it's 8 feet tall. Not to be shocked, to say, oh, hi brother, hi sister. It already is the case. So our development into that, and that is a unique point. So there are people on this earth right now that are hanging on, because according to their own soul development, hanging on to a hedonistic lifestyle, hanging on to materialism, hanging on to industrial type mindset, and are very much into that. And others are, so many of us are really anticipating a great change soon to come. A massive amount, millions and millions and millions, billions of people are ready and waiting for this great change. It is coming, it's inevitable. It's a matter of fact and a matter of time. So with these souls coming in, as God said even in the Bible, to quote one perspective, that He will pour out His Spirit. So the children are really going to be hungry, thirsty, and aware. Our job as parents, no matter how old we are as our souls, our job as parents, especially if you consider yourself spiritual, especially if you consider yourself getting on the edge, the spear tip of the new paradigm, give yourself a happy pat on the back if you receive children now, because wow, it's your turn and my turn to really nurture and put them in such a good way and defend them. And no matter who you are, doesn't matter what country and what mindset, what education of yourself you have, by putting your children in the right place, this is the greatest calling we can do, because we want to make it beneficial for them, because we love them. But by loving our own kids, we learn to love everybody's kids, and by loving everybody's kids, we learn to love all of humanity. And thus, when we reincarnate, we get the better household, we get the better family, we get the better spiritual understanding. So we need to promote this great succession, this great change, this great increasing knowledge and love, to serve each other in peace, harmony, and confidence. So an indigo child, to give it that name, has a great wit about his or herself, has a great charm, has a great inner knowing. Their eyes are able to say a lot. They look up to us, even sometimes your child is born as an older soul than you. Nonetheless, they're still looking up to you, because they have the tabula rasa, they have the clean mind slate, and they're trying to grow back up into their consciousness and then continue it. So the greatest gift, the greatest favor we can do to each and every child we come into contact, especially our own, is to give them love, security, understanding, confidence, knowledge, and access to all that is good, all that is right, all that is strong. And when things go bad and don't go their way, to let them know that it's alright. These are temporary things. These are things for their training. These are things for their ability, so that they gain more of their own quality. So I have one son who's 15 months old, and I have a daughter on the way who's going to be born in a few months from now. Right now it's the end of March 2011. My wife and I both had dreams about these children on separate occasions for each one, because you can actually make an agreement to have them talk to you before they come. It's a very great thing. It's becoming more and more acceptable for people to understand that the soul about to be born physically through the union of man and woman, being born of the mother, coming out into the world, we are able to communicate and talk to these souls. We already know them. In our higher self, in our higher spiritual awareness, we already know who they are. In this confined, condensed, bizarre flesh and blood clay, that's when we forget many things. But that's part of the mystery, part of what keeps it also fun. To our detriment and to our joy on many occasions. So I like to share that with you, that before my son was born, I had 2 dreams about him that were very impressionable, very strong, and my wife had 2 dreams. Confirmation by 4 sets of dreams. So we saw him as a youngster, and with a certain color of hair, certain color of eyes, and how he would be. And he very much is like that. So it is quite incredible that we can see beforehand. You know, these are the mysteries and the magic powers of prophecy. And comfortable, you know, it's like your whole life can be you start to see it as a big elongated deja vu, becoming more and more clear. And with our children, it's amazing, you know. Their souls are very good friends with us. They chose to be born with the agreement with God, to be born in your family, in your household. And that's how much they love you, and that's how much we love them. And to listen to them, you know, they are going to be, I mean, there's so many stories. I'm saying my own children are going to be. Your children perhaps have, you know, when the kids are young, in the ages of what now? Maybe 2, 3, 4 years old, in and around there, they are actually able to start telling you things about where they just came from.